Today, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to talk about sprouts. I've been growing sprouts for probably 30, 40 years, which seems like a long time, but it's been growing most of my life. And it's nice because you can have some fresh vegetables that you've grown any time of the year that you want them. So especially in the wintertime when the vegetables are getting kind of scarce sometimes, and you want to make sure you have nice organically grown fresh vegetables. In case of any supply chain interruptions, you always have some stock of seeds that you can start having some nutritional value. So what happens, you when you put the seeds in the water, their nutrition value like triples or quadruples over a couple of days by growing. So rather than just having the protein or the nutrition that's in the seed, now you're getting the plant as it starts to germinate. So let's get into the sprouts here. And as you can see in this picture, what I lately I've been using the quart ball jar containers, and these are just bottles you buy down at the local store. They're called ball jars or mason jars, and I usually get the quart size. If you want to get started on this without investing into anything, just use a large mayonnaise jar. That's what we used in the beginning when I first started doing this, and then I'll go over the caps that we can use a little bit later. So in the first image over here, we're looking at alfalfa seeds that are in the ball, and we use it. I'm putting about a tablespoon of each variety into one of the bowl jars. So in this one, this is mung beans in the second one. And then I have two different varieties of radishes. Now, there are two different varieties of radishes. One's a little more spicier than the other, so I like to grow them. One takes a little bit longer to grow because it takes a little bit more time. So I get my seeds from Johnny Selected Seeds, which is an employee-owned company. I'm not affiliated with them, and I've been buying from them for as long as I can remember. And I not only get my sprouting seeds from them, I usually buy them in pound containers or pound bags, but they sell them into quarter pound, half pound, 1 pound, and I think 250 pounds or so. And what you can do is you can just buy a bunch from them and do it, or you can go down to your local health food store, and they usually have sprouts you can buy in little, like, I don't know, a couple ounce containers or something, or a bag. And then you can just, buy a couple of them, try it out and see if it's for you. And then see if you want to keep doing that. So the first one was mung beans. Then we have alfalfa sprouts here. And I have the two different kinds of radishes, daikon radishes and China rose radishes. And I think the China rose is a little more spicy, but I grow two different varieties. They're pretty easy to grow. So here's the day one. We put 1 tablespoon in each one of the jars, and I have these plastic lids, which have a little handle on them. Now, I looked for these on Amazon. That's where I got them originally a couple of years ago. And I'm not able to find the ones with the handles anymore. So I guess they're out of stock or they got discontinued, but there's all sorts of coverage you can use for that. When we first got started doing this, I just simply used a mayonnaise jar, and we took the ends of some women's nylon stockings, of course, washed them before you're going to use them, and then just cut the ends off and just use that as a cover, and then put that over there, over the jar, so that when you pour the water out, the seeds don't get all over the place. So this is day one. This is day two. We've drained the water out of the jar, and you can see that everything looks kind of damp. So you want them to be damp, but you don't want it to be sitting in water. So a lot of times what we'll do is we'll turn it upside down and let the water drain out of here, because if they're sitting in water soaking, then they start to rot. And then depending upon how dry your house is, you may want to water them once a day or a couple times a day. Now in the wintertime, I've been watering these in the morning and then at night, especially with the heat on. It dries out the moisture in the container. And this is day three. You can see sprouts starting to happen on the seeds. And here's a close up of the side of this is the radish ones, or this which one this is, alfalfa, I guess. This is the mung beans. You can see them starting to sprout. This is day four. You can see they've really increased in size. And then day 5, they increase a little bit more. And day 6, they're getting up there. Now you can eat these at any time as soon as they start sprouting. Day 7, the alfalfa sprouts over here in the middle, they're ready to be pulled out because they're going to like blow out the cap if you leave them cooking there too long. So I took the alfalfa sprouts out. This is how they came out of the jar, and then you can just pull them apart and put them in your salad. And then what I usually do is put a paper towel in the container to absorb excess moisture, so that the sprouts last a little bit longer that way. I let the other sprouts go an extra day, and you can see how they really filled up the jars. And now I've taken them out and I put them in a container, and you get a pretty big container of sprouts here. A container with me, where we're eating them, usually lasts about a week or so. So if you get into a cycle, when you get the container out, when you pull them all out of the containers and you put them into a plastic container and put them in the refrigerator, then you could start another batch, and by the time the other batch is ready, this batch will be done. And you'll be ready for some more eating. Now you can put them on burgers, you can put them on tofu burgers, you can put them in a salad, put them in soups, stir fries, pretty much anything. And they make a nice little addition. Or you can just have them as a salad by themselves, pull out a bunch of each one and then just put some salad dressing on them and munch away. So I get my seeds from Johnny Selected Seeds. And again, I'm not affiliated with them. And they're an employee-owned company. They have all organic and natural seeds. And they're one of the better, more reputable seed companies that are out there. And if you look under sprouts, they have all these different types of sprouts that they have. They have alfalfa, a sprouting mix, broccoli. I've never been too... I've tried growing broccoli. They tend to have a funny odor when you're growing them. And they didn't grow very well for me, so I have to investigate that a little bit more. Mung beans, 2 different types of radishes. Fenugreek is really good, although they've been out of stock on this for a while. They only have the 1/4 of a pound, and I think the 250-pound ones in stock. The onions seem to need a lot of heat, need to be in warmer temperature to sprout. I had problems sprouting them. I have to do some more work on that. The red Russian kale, I haven't. That's quite expensive. I haven't gone into sprouting them yet. But they have a whole bunch of different types of sprouts. Now, the covers, if you do a search in Amazon for sprouter kits or sprouts or whatever, you'll see all these different things that you can buy. They have all different kind of covers and strainers. You can get this kind of strainer also, which is just a screen and a mesh that goes over. I have some of those, but I don't really use them. I like the plastic ones better. And like the way this is on an angle, it allows for the water to drain out so they're not saturated, they're just damp. And then you can get these kind of containers. Now, I used to get wicker baskets. Years ago, I went to a place called Basketville in Pennsylvania, which I don't even know if they're still in business. And I bought about 15 baskets, wicker baskets. And I used to put the seeds in here. And then what you do is you put like a paper towel over it that's damp, because in the basket, it'll dry out very quickly. So you may have to, if you do it in a basket, you may have to water them a few times a day. But they grow really nice. They grow straight up and down, and you can just pull them out and then eat them. And they have all sorts of different kind of containers and gadgets that people have come up with for this. I used to have I still do in my storage unit. I have a sprouting things from, I think it's called Easy Green Sprouters. And it's like a little greenhouse, and water comes on every hour or so and waters the sprouts and stuff. And those are pretty nice because it's kind of automatic. You can just kind of set it and forget it. But they have a whole bunch of different types of things you can do. You can get really involved with this if you want. So I hope that this inspires you to go out and start investigating or playing with sprouts. And like I said, you can just get started, get a mayonnaise jar or a large jar, get 1 or 2 different varieties, go to the health food store, and pick up some alfalfa sprouts. Those are the easiest ones to sprout. Alfalfa or mung bean or some of the other ones. And then just get a small package, try a little bit of it, and see how it works for you, see if you like it or not. I'll post a little PDF I have on sprouting, and that might give you a little more help. I'll post that up in the comments area. So go out and start sprouting today and enjoy being a little more self-reliant.